And how is the next member of the House of Barnaby? Still trying to kick his way out? Or hers? Good. I hope you and your mum aren't overdoing the whole baby buying thing. Will grow, you know, they're not bonsai. Okay, love to you all lot. Bye. You know what this is, don't you? This is going to be the end of life as we know it. No more peace and quiet for us when the baby arrives. How many of these things do you have? You do not, you lying hound. Nelson, good morning. Early morning fisherman called it in. Any ID, Kate?
Not yet.
Injuries?
Crushing of the thoracic cage, multiple bilateral fractures of the ribs, and a heavy blow to the back of the head.
How long has he been in there?
Aggression of rigour slowed by the temperature of the water, but it's still well set in. 12 hours max?
Severely beaten and then dumped in the lake?
More like drops from a considerable height.
Bunged out of a plane?
Well, he wasn't up a ladder.
How high was the plane?
About 400 feet.
How'd you know that?
Went out with a flyer once. I couldn't resist checking the impact stats.
Some date.
Nearest airfield, please.
Ready for the loop. Affirmative. Pulling. Top. Ready and cross. Woo! Let's come together. Come on, keep up, keep up.
That is incredible.
That is deranged.
He likes them.
Every airfield has one.
Spotting, collecting numbers, I don't get it.
It's another variation on obsessive-compulsive disorder.
Really? Do you know about that stuff?
Oh, yes. All decent detectives suffer from OCD.
You were drifting out on a turn. You were going too fast. Hey.
I should take up flying.
Jesse, the man can't fly. Oh, excuse me. Ace fighter pilot, crop dust.
Goodbye.
Very Top Gun.
Yeah.
Mrs. Arne will be right out, Inspector.
Thank you.
So,
Jesse, Raina, reception.
and you, sir?
Gavin Hopkirk, flying instructor.
Things a bit thin.
Well, you know, high summer, a lot of people away.
Expensive hobby, too.
It's not a hobby.
Inspector Barnaby? Perry Darnley, CEO here. Sorry to keep you. I've got a man down this morning. Jesse, can you hear that?
Yes.
Maybe we could talk somewhere.
Yes. Yes, of course. It's through here.
What's going on?
But I saw him yesterday. I mean, that's his jacket. He can't be gone.
We'll have to lock down the airfield until further notice.
Why?
We believe Mr. King was murdered.
My God. But we've got the air show coming up. I mean, Bernard's organising everything. He can't. Oh, dear. What happened?
Was Mr. King a flyer?
Yes. Yes, very keen. Very good. We were both commercial pilots before retiring. Oh, and that's my mother. She can still fly the pants off all of us.
Anyone with a grudge against Mr. King?
Well, he did have lots of run-ins with the local residents around here. They don't like the noise. Goodness sakes, I mean, we were here long before them. My father, actually, was CEO here in the Battle of Britain. Not like we just arrived.
No flights in or out until we say so.
They need to practice for the show, Inspector.
And I've got lessons.
Gav, Bernard's been murdered.
Sorry.
You carry on here. Membership list. Plane owners. Who was on the premises? Murder weapon. If he was whacked over the head before taking off, it could be here. And this spotter fellow. Have a word. I'm going to see the victim's wife.
Can I have a word, please, sir?
I was just going.
If you could wait a second.
What's it about?
Were you plane spotting here yesterday?
So what if I was?
Can I have an answer rather than another question?
What do you want to know?
Did you see anything out of the ordinary last night?
No, I wasn't here at night.
Where were you?
At work. I'm a security guard. Are we done, if I might ask?
Name and address, please, sir, and the name of your employer.
Hello, could I see Stephanie King, please?
Stephanie's busy at the moment, waxing Mrs. Phillips. She may be a while. Can you wait?
Could you ring through?
What's this about then?
Bernard's usually here on the dot of 1. He used to drop me to work and pick me up every day until I started running.
Is there someone I can call?
No, I've got Sally out there. Sorry. Please, I want to help. Ask me questions.
Do you fly, Mrs. King?
No. I've never even been up with Bernie. 3 feet off the ground and I fell sick.
I'm afraid I have to ask where you were last night.
I was at home. Alone.
Weren't you worried when your husband didn't come home?
Well, I'm training for the Corsten Marathon. I run to and from work. Get very tired. And last night, I was out like a light. I assumed that Bernie had come and gone without waking me. He does that sometimes.
Your husband, did he have any enemies?
Bernard? No.
Disputes, conflicts with anyone recently?
Well, Bernard and Perry are always arguing. He came over a few nights ago and things got a bit heated.
What did he want?
Bernard doesn't bother me with the business.
No one flies out of here after 7. Break the curfew and then shuts down.
I suppose with all this going on, Gail's lessons cancelled. I got her on the phone.
Tell her I'll call her back. And where are the aircraft keys kept?
In the reception and on the board, although some people just leave their keys in the planes.
Right. Thank you. Okay, everyone. We know what we're looking for.
No, it was nothing, Inspector. Bernard and I always have heated debates about the airfield. I mean, flying's dangerous. You can't cover all eventualities. This is my wife.
Mrs. Darnley.
Miranda, the younger Mrs. Darnley. This is Molly, the much older Mrs. Darnley.
It's an honour, Mrs. Darnley.
Inspector, this is a terrible thing.
You actually flew Spitfires during the war?
Not in combat, Inspector. I was in the ATA, the Air Transport Auxiliary. Most of the male pilots were in fighter or bomber command. But the ATA had to deliver the planes from the factories to the airfield, so we women flyers were in much demand. We had no radios, no guns, just a passion for flying and a determination to do our bit.
Don't bore him to death, dear.
She's absolutely right. I do bang on.
And you could fly a Lancaster?
Oh, we could fly anything. I delivered that one here to Finchmere. The station commander couldn't believe I'd flown it all by myself. And then he pinched my spark plugs so I couldn't leave for a couple of days.
And of course, dear reader, she married him.
I did indeed. Henry Darnley, DFC.
Distinguished Flying Cross.
Do you fly, Mrs. Darnley?
You don't become a Darnley without being able to fly.
And you, sir, obviously.
Alex has been in Afghanistan. 3 tours.
Harriers and tornadoes.
And at Finchmere?
Yeah, a bit of stunt and flying display stuff.
Were you there yesterday?
No, I was on my base at Midsomer Norton.
My grandson is a true British hero, Inspector. We're all very proud of him.
Whose plane is this?
Bernard King's.
Let's get samples of Dr. Wilding.
Sir?
Bag it.
Sir.
Whose toolbox is it?
It's my great uncle's. Dougie Wingate.
The toolbox is yours, Mr. Wingate?
No, it's just got my name on it for fun.
Anyone could have put something in it, right?
Yeah, usually they take stuff out.
Okay. And yesterday evening?
I was at home, on my own, washing my hair.
You're the engineer here, aren't you?
Was the engineer. You see all that? It's the whole of my life, all packed up in little boxes. 70 years service, no pension, no nothing. Thank you, Bernard. Goodbye, Dougie.
Bernard was restructuring. Can you still fly, Dougie?
Can I fly? Can I fly? Son, I could fly a jumbo jet sideways through those doors.
Okay, thank you.
You haven't asked me who the murderer is.
Dougie.
You want a murderer? You go up to Darnley Hall. Molly Darnley, OBE. She's the murderer around here. Get off.
How old's this fellow? 87?
I know it's a bit far-fetched, but I thought as you were there...
Okay.
Everything all right?
Fine.
For your wife.
Thank you very much. So, Molly, how did you feel about Bernard King?
He said I was far too old to still be flying. I know I'm a bit unsteady on the ground, but in the air, I'm in command. And if you can pass the medical, you can keep flying. And I passed it.
Do you know a Dougie Wingate?
Not very subtle, Inspector. What's he been saying now?
He called you a murderer.
His sister Ellie and I served together during the war. Ellie died in an air crash, as did many of the ATA pilots. And for some reason, Dougie thinks her death was my fault.
The blood is a straight match with the deceased, as are the hair samples. No prints. The perpetrator was wearing gloves.
So why didn't the killer wipe the thing clean?
Why not hide it properly? Why plant it so blatantly?
Charlie, you haven't forgotten my parents coming to stay?
Ah, the famous surgeon, yeah.
He's retired, coming for his annual air show fix.
I'm looking forward to meeting them.
My dad's a bit, you know.
It's only a couple of days, you'll be fine.
Right, what have we got? Airfield first. Bernard King, hit with a wrench, dropped into the lake from his own plane.
Killer has a sense of irony.
Thank you, Nelson.
Killer must be able to fly.
Okay, motives in no particular order. Dougie. Bernard fired Dougie, so Dougie not a happy man.
Perry Darnley?
Well, he and Bernard always squabbling over the running of the airfield. Gavin.
Nothing known, but I'll run some checks.
Stephanie, wife of. We have life insurance on Bernard, Stephanie being the sole beneficiary.
Motive amounts?
Not really, and it was taken out some time ago. We need to go to the house today. Love's young dream, Jesse, Alex. Both good flyers.
Gavin also fancies Jessie. Possible love triangle.
Oh, good. And Jessie herself.
Well, she didn't like Bernard. He stopped her free flying lessons.
And her father is Eddie Rayner.
The plane spotter. Sullen and shifty.
To Bernard.
Bernard.
He really looked after you.
Yes. It's going to be difficult to adjust.
Whereas my dear Perry couldn't look after an Olive at a cocktail party.
No.
You don't have to agree. Give me something to hang on to.
Perry's a family man.
Oh, hurrah.
And you have your flying in common.
Double hurrah. I didn't realise I was quite so lucky. Oh, come on, let's have a proper drink.
No, I shouldn't.
It'll do you good.
I'm sure one won't hurt.
Good girl. You know Perry and Bernard were restructuring the company?
No, I didn't.
I mean, I know you're still a bit raw. Probably the last thing you want to think about, but Perry sort of needs you to step into his shoes. As it were.
Lockdown's over.
No disrespect to Bernard, but do you think it's too soon to start my flying lessons again?
I'm way ahead of you. Hi.
Hi. We're flying again.
Oh, you better get up there. Practice. I have other plans, thanks. A date? Finally. Business, actually. Man with a plan.
Alex! Gav, that's great.
Yeah, and if they come off, you can have all the free flying lessons you want.
Thank you.
Think about it, but call me as soon as possible.
Sure.
Oh, Inspector Barnaby, are you tailing me?
Should I be?
Bye, Steph.
Mrs. King, Detective Sergeant Nelson.
Do you mind taking your shoes off?
Do you know the password, Mrs. King?
No. I hardly ever came in here.
We'll have to take this in, I'm afraid.
Fine.
Finchmere and airfield at war.
Bernard's latest obsession.
Which will be pretty much a history of the Darnley family.
Yes. But Molly wasn't keen. Said Bernard was prying.
So did your husband and Perry work with each other before they retired?
No. No, Bernard was skipper on long-haul passenger plane 747 Airbus. Perry was mainly freight.
The flying club was being taken to court in a civil action.
I wouldn't know.
The litigants, the Finchmere Residents Action Group, headed up by a Mr. Edward Rayner. So, Mr. Rayner, you didn't think it was worth telling me that you were the protest leader?
You didn't ask.
What's your gripe?
This area isn't just a playpen for rich kiddies with expensive toys. Working people live here, and we don't like the noise.
So what are you doing plane spotting?
Checking to see how many times they break the noise limit regs. We want the place closed down.
But your daughter works there. Do you want Jessie to be out of a job?
Do her good. Make a better sense of her life. Get away from those Darnley people.
She being engaged to Alex Darnley.
Never gonna happen.
Right, here we go. Mum, Dad!
Katie!
Come on through.
Hello, darling. Lovely to see you. Oh, thank you. Mum, Dad, this is my lodger, Charlie.
Giles and Laura.
Hello, pleased to meet you.
Oh, lovely to meet you at last. Oh, look at the place. It looks so clean.
That must be you. Katie's room always looked like a bomb site. I'll take the bags up.
Oh, no, please, I'll do that.
All right.
He's driving me insane. I wish he'd never retired. I'm so glad to be here with you. Spread the load.
Dad? And so we were thinking about mid-September when Alex has got some leave due, and I'd really like you to do all the, traditional giving me away stuff. I'd just really like you to be there, Dad.
Have you totally forgotten your mother?
Dad, I have to move on. I have to make a life for myself. I can't live in the past.
I want you to call it off, Jess. For your mum.
Dad, this wedding is going to happen with or without you.
Well, yes, I'm managing. Well, it's tough, but, Sykes and I, we're guys. We can hack it. Yeah, okay, darling. Love to the bump. Night. Right. This could be our last ever box set night. We'll eat after 3 episodes. Don't bark at the dogs. Nelson, what's the matter?
Nothing, sir. I just thought as you're on your own, you might want to go over the case. I had a couple of thoughts.
And how are things with the parents?
Oh, great.
So, Stephanie?
She's thinking about it.
Not for too long, I hope. Keep the pressure on.
I have done absolutely everything so far.
Well, it was your idea.
Well, what are you going to do to move things along? Do nothing. Be your usual ineffectual self.
I've lost my appetite.
This better work, Perry. If we fail, we lose this place. Everything. Mummy won't be happy.
So, Bernard is here in the control room, and then he's here in the plane. But we found no traces of blood or a struggle in the control room, only blood in the plane.
So, how does he get from A to B?
He walks, I guess.
But why?
He sees something, someone.
Okay, so he goes over to the plane. And going by the blood splatter, he was clobbered as he was climbing in.
Yeah, but why was he getting into his plane at that time of night?
And why did he take his keys with him?
Jesse says that some of the flyers leave their keys in their planes.
Well, but Bernard would never do that. He's too by the book.
So his keys would have been in the hangar.
The killer must have known which keys were his, which locks us back into the airfield crowd. We'll run all this tomorrow. So, if the body was slumped across the passenger seat... Nelson, body. Come on. Okay, well, anybody could do that. Okay, so Bernard is slumped in the seat. Anything to stop you taking off?
No. Easy.
Okay, so fly out over the lake. Then how do you offload the unconscious man?
I guess knock in a slight circular bank, lean over the body, open the door, then just push the body out. Sorry.
So, Gavin, business been bad for a while?
Up and down.
I ran a check on you. 2 court orders for non-payment of debts last year.
Bernard was holding back my wages.
Why?
Well, Finchmere's been struggling for years. I was just the bloke at the end of the food chain. Is that all?
For now. Right, get stuck into everyone's finances and chase up our tech people. Bernard's computer is their top priority.
So you came, eh?
Yeah, of course. My future father-in-law wants a chat. Here I am. So let me guess, you want to come to the wedding after all?
I want you to cancel the wedding.
Eddie, I love Jessie. Why would I do that?
Because I know what you've done, don't I? You think about it.
Katie!
Dad, what are you doing here?
Oh, you know, Mum's gone shopping. Bit of a loose end. Got time for a coffee?
I'm working.
You need an assistant. I never did my own paperwork.
Well, you were the maestro.
Still could be. Look at that hand. Steady as a rock. Still enjoying it, then?
Why wouldn't I be?
Oh, you know, no reason. Maybe a bit gloomy. On your own. Dead people. Bit Twilight Zone.
What are you saying?
Nothing. Just observing.
You still don't think I should be a pathologist, do you?
No, no. Very important job. Surgeons really need you guys.
Yes, you do.
let's go for that coffee.
Ah, he's just flying a kite.
Yeah, maybe we should drop him from a great height.
Careful.
What are you two gossiping about?
Your lovely dad.
Yeah, he's still not keen on our marriage plans.
You saw him?
I went round. I wanted to try one last time to win him over.
That man thinks he's going to ruin my life. He's got another thing coming.
Computer?
Still trying to crack it. Bernard was very security-minded.
Finances?
Bernard and Stephanie King were comfortably off until Bernard bought half the airfield off Perry. And then the place started to get slammed by the recession.
The Darnleys?
Oh, huge debts, but they promised to pay back everything in a few weeks.
How are they doing that?
Selling the airfield.
A failing airfield. Not worth much.
Oh, I checked with planning. They'd applied for change of use to light industrial.
Lateral thinking, very good.
Be worth serious money when that goes through.
So, presumably, widow Stephanie will now own Bernard's share of the airfield. Go and have a chat with Sally, her receptionist. She's very chirpy. See if you can get a handle on Stephanie and her marriage to Bernard.
And don't forget... There she goes. Run, run, run. Hours and hours.
Keeps her fit.
And she comes back glowing.
Do you think maybe she's off to,
No. They had a lovely marriage.
Shall we?
Money problems?
Salon's a bit of a hobby, but they seem to do all right.
And are you a member of Finchmere?
You're kidding? They're all a bunch of bores, except for Jessie.
Do you know Jessie?
Yeah, she's a mate from school. It's a shame she's with the wrong guy.
What's wrong with Alex?
His mother, old saber-toothed Miranda, she thinks Jessie's far too common for a Darnley. Really, Gavin's much more her speed.
So why didn't she see that?
She's damaged. Had a hard time with her dad being a head case and her mum dying.
Her mum?
Joan Rayner. She used to clean for the Darnleys, but then Perry gets the push from his airline.
Well, he said he retired.
He was fired.
So Perry gets fired. Then, as things go south at Darnley Hall, Joan Rayner, Eddie's wife, has an aneurysm, dead before she hits the floor. Eddie blames the Darnleys for stressing her out.
Medically unlikely.
Very. I think in the Darnleys he found a target for his own failings and got obsessed about it.
We got into Bernard's computer. Lots of detail on the residence group. The court chucked out their protests 2 years ago, lack of proper evidence. Then, more recently, there's some very threatening but anonymous emails.
Eddie? He fails the legal route and graduates the threat?
Tech is still trying to trace the origin through the IP address, but meanwhile...
Bring him in.
Hello? Yes? All right, I'm on my way.
Come on, bloody connect. Come on. Come on.
Farmer called it in an hour ago. He's got complex compound skull vertex fracture, multiple intracranial hemorrhages, blowout fractures of 3 cervical vertebrae. Instantly fatal.
No kidding. Half his head's caved in. What was it?
It's hard to tell right now. Some dark substance here.
Compound rubber, I expect. Aviation fuel, wind-flattened crops. I think he was chased by a small plane.
Good flyer, then.
Brilliant. That is precision work.
Plane should be easy to find. Impact like this is going to leave hair and blood traces on the wheel, and maybe even damage to the plane itself.
Testing. Hello. Hello, this is your captain speaking. The emergency exits are located at the rear of the airfield, at the middle of the airfield, and in Finchmere.
Perhaps we should cancel the air show.
Bit of luck, it'll bring the perpetrator out of the woodwork.
Tractors, please remember to collect your passes from reception for tomorrow's air show.
Yeah, I was over that way. Practicing stunts with the show.
Can anyone vouch for you?
No, I was on my own.
Did you see anybody else flying in that area?
Big sky.
Jessie, were you flying this morning?
You think I did it?
We need to find out where everybody was so that we can eliminate them from our inquiries.
Sorry. I was just chasing up a supplier in Causton.
Did anybody have a particular grudge against your father?
No, not really. It was usually him against the world, rather than...
Nelson, would you take Jessie back to her dad's house, get a cup of tea? I'm sorry to do this, but we need to search your father's home.
Yes, I was in the air about then.
Where were you going?
Well, nowhere, just flying.
Mrs. Darnley?
I was searching for bunting. On the high street, not in the air.
And your son?
I expect he was defending his country on his base.
And I gather you're selling the airfield?
What was that?
I understood.
No, I don't know where you got that from.
From your bank manager.
Perry, is this true?
Not now, Molly.
Be quiet. Perry?
Times are tough, Mum.
You're selling our airfield?
My airfield? Mine and Bernard's.
It's Henry's airfield. It's where he commanded the pilots who saved this country. It's where he met me. It's where we were married.
Yes. Where I was laughed at and humiliated by my sainted father. Where I was always being told, oh, you'll never be as good as your father. I heard nothing but your father this, your father that. Yes, Mum, I am selling the bloody airfield.
I'm sorry you had to witness this.
Thank you, Inspector. Most helpful.
Was it Bernard's idea to sell?
No, actually, it was my idea. I realised that with a change of use, the place was worth an absolute packet. All perfectly legal.
Then why all the secrecy?
Well, they already hate us around here. They're going to hate us even more when the place is covered in factories. So we've decided to keep it quiet until we get the rubber stamp.
And didn't Bernard object?
No, he was fine.
Really? Doesn't sound like him.
Well, he objected at first, but I changed his mind.
How?
I am a woman. He was a man. No moral judgments, please. Not your job, Mr. Policeman.
And does your son know that you're selling what he might have expected to inherit?
He'll understand in time.
We weren't even that close.
He was your dad.
I know. Last time I saw him, we had a terrible row.
What was that about?
Oh, me and Alex getting engaged. Dad hated anything to do with the Darnleys.
And, Gavin?
Oh, I don't even know. This love stuff is so complicated, isn't it? What would you do?
Me?
My mum always said if you're lost, you should ask a policeman.
I think she probably meant...
I know. What would you do?
Follow your heart.
You can let yourself out when you're done snooping.
Nothing. Not a trace on any of them.
See what you can get off the body.
Dougie, you okay?
Ellie's letters. You know, Molly was in charge of the ATA pilots here, and it was Molly that sent my sister up. Deliberate.
Why would she do that?
Love. It's all here. They were both in love with Henry Darnley, and Molly made sure she won him.
Maybe we should put these away, eh?
She never posted half of them, you know. She just wrote her little heart out and then stored them.
Well, that's all history now.
No, it isn't. You're going exactly the same way as Ellie. You're just sitting there while Darnley steals your girl.
Alex is my maid.
Yeah, well, he won't be there for you. He's not your wingman.
Flight movements at Finchmere for the last 2 years.
Plus a lot of calibrated noise levels. They were building up quite a case.
OK, cross-reference all these with the airfield's logs, then concentrate on the ones that seem to be breaking the curfew.
What am I looking for?
Anomalies, patterns, anything out of the ordinary. I'm going back to the King's place to find out what Stephanie knows about these threatening emails.
Just delay for a bit.
Why?
Because I've got plans. I want to get a bit of capital, modernise it.
Where are you going to get this bit of capital?
I'm working on it.
No, it's all too late.
Dad, I'm sorry you and Grandad didn't see eye to eye, but we don't have to be the same.
Really?
We're good.
No, you don't think that?
You've tried your best. It's up to them now.
Here I am talking about an airfield when you've just lost your father. Finchmere is our future. And I will take care of you. I promise.
Mrs. King.
Don't worry about that. It's fine.
How's the marathon training going?
I've given up. Heart's not in it anymore.
That's a pity.
Well, I think I was only doing it to make Bernie proud. But now he's gone.
Your husband had been receiving some pretty nasty hate mail recently.
Who from?
I was hoping you might know that.
No. What about?
Selling the airfield. Are you happy about selling it?
Finchmere was Bernie's life. I think it would be a betrayal.
Lot of money, though.
I'll manage.
Have you told the Darnleys?
Bringing your work home again, eh, Charlie?
In this case, yeah.
I always used to say, when you leave the hospital, you leave the job. Have a drink.
Actually, I've got to go out.
Really? This time of night?
I've got to see the boss. Kate, he'll need your input as well.
Oh, sorry, work. Sorry.
What was all that about?
Dinner! Doors open! Do join us. Come here. So, to what do Sykes and I owe this gross breach of our us time?
I discovered a new thing about flyers. The Icarus complex. It refers to people who'd suffer from an internalization of father-son rivalry.
Perry Darnley to a T. Good one, Kate. Working late, working hard. Parental avoidance syndrome.
Oh, is it that obvious?
I can spot it a mile off.
How was Stephanie and her OCD?
Well, I'm not sure it's actually her problem, really. I think it might have been Bernard's, and she just sort of became a clone of him. But now she's carefully picking her way back to her former self. She's given up the running, and she's asserting herself with the Darnleys by refusing to sell the airfield.
Part of the grieving process.
Yes.
Something I need to show you. I found a pattern in Eddie's logbook. Regular flights in and out of Finchmere at night. See? Twice a month.
NL? What does that mean?
I reckon it's no lights.
Smuggling?
It looks like it.
Into Finchmere? Drugs, tobacco? For a whole year we'd have heard something.
Well, there's another no lights flight, which was outside of the pattern.
When was that?
The night that Bernard was killed.
Bernard got wind of the smuggling and was murdered to keep him quiet. Same with Eddie. These regular NL flights, when's the next one due?
Tomorrow night.
Dougie.
You nearly gave me a heart attack.
What do you want?
I want you to tell the truth.
What truth?
Ellie and Henry.
There was no Ellie and Henry.
I've read her letters.
Girls have crushes. Move on, Dougie, please.
It's your last chance. When you make your speech at the show, I want you to tell everybody the true story. If you don't, I will. Then we'll see who's the hero, won't we? It'll finish the Darnleys.
If you make one move against me or my family, I will retaliate in kind.
Are you threatening me?
No. I'm promising you.
Tyres are made 50% rubber, 45% fabric and 5% steel. There are different types of rubber and nylon compounds.
Kate?
Yes?
The point?
The rubber residue on Eddie Rayner's head did not come from any of the planes at Finchmere.
So the plane that killed Rayner came from somewhere else?
Looks like it.
And what sort of plane?
This particular type of rubber compound is usually found in the softer tyres of training planes.
Which have a flight range of?
Of around 250 miles.
250 miles easily takes us onto the continent. Line up the Coast Guard for tonight.
Yes, sir.
And locally, let's work outwards airfield by airfield.
A message from the tech guys. The IP address for the threatening emails received by Bernard is traced to a computer at Darnley Hall.
Whose?
Miranda Darnley.
Showtime. While everyone's distracted, have a good snoop around. See if you can get a line on this smuggling.
What about Stephanie? She's trying to block the sale. She could be in danger.
I'll watch her.
Now there's good breeding stock. That's what you need, my girl.
He's got nothing to run anymore. No one to boss around. Except me, of course.
Oh, Mum.
Oh, it's so good to be here with you. It dilutes him a bit. Or maybe we could stay a bit longer.
Oh, excuse me.
And here it comes, the one and only Supermarine Mark II Spitfire! Yes, without the legendary Spitfire and the famous few who flew them, the Battle of Britain might have had a very different outcome. By legendary heroes such as Johnny Johnson and Charles Ballard.
What do you think you're doing? I don't believe Miranda. Please, for God's sake. I don't believe you. Bernard would never give up on a project. We don't.
Traveled with grounding machine guns and highly skilled and dedicated airmen, the Spitfire saved our nation.
Dougie? Everything all right?
My sister brought me here when I was 14. She sat me down right here. Told me to behave. She's still flying. Somewhere.
Ladies and gentlemen, a little hush please for our very own local hero, my dear mother, Molly Dudley.
Thank you so much, everyone. It's been a great year for me. But you know, this honor isn't just for me.
Because you're a liar.
It's for all the members of the ACA who flew and some who died for this great country of ours.
Tell the truth!
So it is with great pride and humility that I unveil this memorial dedicated to all those brave pilots of the Air Transport Auxiliary.
Tell them!
You didn't tell them.
What? Tell them!
Fuel consumption is very low. Finished the routine with the race to 2,000 feet?
Yeah, great.
Keep it tight.
I'll be way ahead of you.
You've got the extra power.
And I can fly.
Okay. Let's switch planes. Let's see who's really the best.
You're on. And, a little side bet?
How much?
Jesse.
Jesse.
Yeah. I win, and you stop mooning about her like some lovesick teenager and find another airfield.
And if I win?
You won.
Display team, you are clear to take off.
Roger that. Okay, you ready? Affirmative. 3, 2, 1. Rolling. Rolling. Smoke on. Okay, smoke on.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, over there to the west, you'll see our headline 17 taking off. And while we wait for our own air to get along, I would like to...
You sent Bernard hate mail. You didn't get him on side with sex. You were threatening him. A criminal offence.
and choose the charity of your choice on the form provided. And now, I'd like to hand you over to the commander of Finchmere Airfield, Mr. Perry Darby.
Ladies and gentlemen, look to the skies! We present our very own Finchmere Air Aces, Gavin Hopkirk and Alex Darby! Alex Darby, squadron leader of the RAF.
Okay, Alex, you ready? Of course I'm ready. Here we go. Pulling. Top. Come on, Alex, keep it tight. I'm right behind you.
The essence of stop flying is your left, and most important of all, in your partner.
Ready for the barrel roll? Affirmative. Pulling. Roll. Rolling. Rolling. And out. What's the matter? Can't keep up? Gavin, I know what I'm doing.
You can't pull off stunts like that without almost being of one mind. The Charlie.
For the brake. On your command. Brake. Brake. Go! You're getting too close.
Incredible stuff. Let's hear it for the Finchmere Flyers.
How you feeling? Feeling sick? Don't worry about me.
Lining up for the opposition pass. Two planes flying towards each other at over 500 miles an hour.
You're on the wrong line.
Oh, shame.
What the hell are you playing at? Come on, give me a visual. Visual. Okay, reach for the sky. Last chance to back out? You wish. First to 2,000 feet. Winner takes all.
Alex and Gavin will reach for the sky.
Come on, Alex, is that all you've got? I'll still beat you even in this wreck. I'm out. I'm out.
Well, that's a bit different today. Goodness.
Engine failure! Engine failure! What's going on? Talk to me, Alex. I'm gonna sort it! I'm gonna sort it! Switch fuel tanks. Negative! There's nothing in the other tank! I can't recover!
I'm sure they know what they're doing. Nothing to worry about. Nothing at all.
What's that?
Bail out, Alex! Bail out! No, we can fix it! It's not a time for pride, Alex. Just jump! I'm too close to the ground! Mayday! Fix me! Mayday! I'm going in!
Roger that. We have your visual standing by.
Don't worry, folks. God.
You're heading for the crouch. Brake right. I'm trying. I'm trying. Finchmere, I'm coming into land.
Roger that. Down. Yes. Yes, great. Yes, all part of the show, of course. Wonderful stuff, boys. Nothing to worry about there. Oh, well done.
Are you okay?
Yeah, looks like it. What happened?
Cut fuel line.
You tried to kill me. What are you talking about? That's my plane.
You'd try anything, wouldn't you?
Oh, calm down, calm down. You really think Gavin would try and kill you?
You're on your own from now on.
They switched planes. Put yourself about. Let everyone see that we're watching them very closely. Someone just tried to kill Gavin, and I want to know who.
Sir.
Has your mother gone home?
I doubt it. When it all gets to her, she goes and talks to my father.
Brave man.
An Englishman, quiet and honourable. Honour is very important in a family, Mr. Barnaby. Even today.
Allow me.
Oh, thank you.
You still know your aircraft, Molly?
Of course.
Well enough to know how to cut a fuel line?
And why would I do that?
Dougie said that you threatened him and his family. It was Gavin's plane that was tampered with. Gavin is Dougie's great-nephew. Family.
Mr. Barnaby, you don't seriously think I go around trying to kill people, do you?
No, Molly, not really. Just a copper's compulsion to check every angle. I hate any unsolved mysteries.
You are a terrier.
Can I ask why Dougie was so upset at the air show?
Bring the can. Thank you. Finchmere, 1942. Very dark days. I was delivering that Lancaster you saw in the photo at the hall. We women of the ATA were under constant pressure to keep the frontline RAF supplied with planes. It was dangerous work, but I had the time of my life. We were a very tight unit. We had to be. They called us the Glamour Girls, and male attention was never in short supply. Henry was the CO at Finchmere, handsome, dashing, charming. Ellie Wingate was also in the ATA, and she had her eye on him. 2 women, 1 man, pretty classic, really. It was also my job to allocate the ATA flights in the region. I'd rostered Ellie to return a damaged Spitfire to the factory at Castle Bromwich, but the weather closed in and all flights were cancelled for a few hours. Ellie ignored my command and took off into the storm. Ellie didn't make it. And from that day, Dougie has believed that I ordered Ellie up so that she would be killed and I would have Henry to myself.
Why did she do it?
The previous day, Henry had asked me to marry him. I had accepted. And I told Ellie of our plans.
So she deliberately...
We assumed so.
And you could never tell Dougie the truth?
Better that he should think ill of me than lose the cherished image of his beloved sister. All so long ago, Mr. Barnaby. So long ago.
Not for some, it seems. Don't you think Dougie deserves to know the truth?
You've been to the Rose Festival at Ashley House?
No.
I thought we might all go there on Wednesday.
Wednesday? But I'm working, Dad.
Well, they won't miss you for one day.
John, stop.
What?
You're being impossible.
Mum, it's okay.
No, it isn't.
What is all this?
Well, ever since you retired, you've been... a bit difficult.
Really?
Yes, darling. I'm afraid so.
Could someone have cut the fuel line after Gavin and Alex agreed to swap planes?
No. There was no time or opportunity. The planes were surrounded by fans, fully visible.
So it was definitely an attempt on Gavin's life?
Yeah, I think so.
OK, connecting the dots, why would someone want to murder Bernard, Eddie, and now Gavin?
They all knew about the smuggling.
It's a big leap, smuggling to possible triple murder.
It fits.
No. No, there's something missing.
Anything to report?
All clear.
Nothing, then.
No, the coast's quiet.
Due now.
Cancelled? Over there.
They're smuggling stuff out, not in. Go, go, go!
Jessie doesn't know anything. She was just doing me a favour.
How many favours?
This was a one-off.
FADEC, Full Authority Digital Engine Control. This is the computer that controls a jet engine's entire performance. This thing must be worth a fortune.
Yes.
And you were selling this to a French soldier you met in Afghanistan. This is a very serious offence. Why, Alex?
To save our airfield. Have a future.
OK, so if Jessie is not your usual smuggling partner, who is? Alex, this is a murder investigation. You need to tell me the truth.
It was Gavin.
Hold on, you don't actually think that Gavin is capable of murder, do you? No, wait, please. Look, on the day that my dad was killed, Gavin was at Corson Airfield. On the ground.
He didn't say that in his statement. He said he was practicing for the flying show.
I know. He told me in confidence. Gavin wanted to take control of his life. He was trying to set up his own flying school at Corston. Gavin is not a murderer.
Sir?
Nelson, call the RAF. They can deal with Alex.
I think my best tactic is not to get mad with Dad. It's not his fault, he's just a bit lost. He's driving Mum up the wall.
When a successful man retires, he feels emasculated and pointless.
So I just need to try and not make things any worse.
Sir?
This is about control. From the start, someone has been trying to anchor this investigation to Finchmere alone, Bernard's plane, the easily spotted wrench. Get onto Corston Airfield straight away. I want to know everyone who flew out of Corston on the day that Eddie Rayner was murdered. This has nothing to do with smuggling.
Sir?
This is such a mess.
It wasn't you, it was me and Alex.
Alex's career is over. You're never gonna get another flying gig again. And for what?
I did it for you, Jessie. It's always been for you.
I thought I was going to lose Alex yesterday. You are my best friend, Gavin. It's just not enough.
What have we got? You're right. Last Thursday morning when Eddie was killed, in fact, every Tuesday and Thursday for the last 14 months. There.
Gavin's phone number. Now. Around the back. Stay back, stay back.
Flare pistol. And from this distance it will make a very big hole.
Is he dead?
Move the car.
I don't think so.
I will shoot.
I'll risk that.
Back off!
This isn't really you, Stephanie.
Oh, you don't know me.
You know, actually, I think I do. Bernard controlled every single aspect of your life, didn't he?
I am not a victim!
When you went to work, when you had lunch, when you came home. Everything to be done the Bernard way.
Because the Stephanie way was not a good way.
So she had to be controlled and watched over every minute of the day.
Yes.
Is that why you took up running?
It's a chance to breathe.
And to slip off your flying lessons.
There's freedom up there.
And Eddie Rayner, he saw you flying Bernard's body out that night.
He tried to blackmail me. Just another man trying to control me.
Picking him off like that was great flying.
Brilliant flying, thank you.
But then Gavin turns up at Causton Airfield. Better shut him down before he puts it all together.
His fault.
Oh, come on. Gavin's not a Bernard or an Eddie. He doesn't want to control anyone. He's a young man, his life ahead of him. You don't want to hurt him.
Back off!
He's alive, but he needs medical attention.
It's okay. Just take it easy. He's just checking Gavin. Look at me. Look at me. This is over, Stephanie.
I couldn't even go to lunch with friends without Bernard's permission. I just wanted my life back.
I know. I know.
No!
I'm sorry.
DS Nelson, I need an ambulance at Finchmere Airfield now.
Sorry if I've been a bit much, Katie.
Oh, well, don't worry, Dad. I understand what you're going through.
Well, pretty textbook. Power player one day, nobody the next.
You're a somebody. You always will be. And we love you.
I've been thinking of, volunteering for the local hospice. Get out from underneath your mother's feet.
I think that's a lovely idea, Dad.
Hmm.
Oh. Maybe I'll come up and visit next month.
Oh, darling, that would be wonderful.
What about the weekend of the 5th? You'll see the red arrows.
Great. I'll bring Charlie.
It's a date. Bye, guys.
Bye. Serves you right for being so nice to them. Why can't it be dealt with here?
The courts martial take precedence.
It's all right, Mum. I'll be fine.
Yes. You're a hero. They owe you.
I've let you down.
Yes. Well, it happens.
Sorry.
We're not selling the airfield now.
We're going to give it to Alex. One day. And in the meantime, I dare say, it'll be in safe hands.
Mr. Barnaby?
Shall we?
We'll wait here.
Thank you, Inspector. I should have told you before. I'm sorry. There will always be a place for you at Finchmere, Ducky. Thank you, Inspector.
What for?
You know very well.